Alright, now this gets back, and now we're headed towards more of the dynamics of the game now, and these are kind of basic things. If you're playing by yourself, you are soloing. Yes, that means you are handling business on your own, my friend. And that's a good thing. Because that means you can probably farm by yourself, a guild by yourself, get everything you need by yourself. Most of the time. Now, if you've got like a healer or a support class job, that may not be the case. Because you need a friend. So you may be duoing, which is basically you and one other person, or trioing, or which is, you know, 3 people, or you may be partying, which is pretty much you're working with other people. In a party, if you're partying, you're basically playing in a group. It goes by other names, but in Final Fantasy XI we call it partying, and that's what I refer to it as. Grinding, you know, kind of like the Eclipse. Grinding is basically leveling up, and you can do this either with a party or by soloing, and you're basically just trying to get your character strong enough to do pretty much better and cooler things and better missions and stuff. Quick hint, and this is for anyone who hasn't really played one before, getting up to that top level is really what you want to do fastest, although, there we go, there are lots of quests on the way, and that's nice and all, but, you know, those quests, though they may be awesome, are only doing but so much for you if they're not helping you level up. So if you can find some way where you can level up, you don't have to necessarily go through the kind of non-used parts of the story, so to speak, but you basically the main storyline you'll still end up having to do anyway, but you may end up having to do most of it when you're a higher level anyway. So that's what I'm trying to say. Farming. My homeboy had an additional name for this. Farming basically means that you're going out and you're trying to obtain certain items basically with the idea of selling them. So you're basically killing up mobs or pretty much monster hunting or something like that, where you're basically trying to make money. And there's nothing wrong with farming, because you can farm for items to craft as well, depending on how heavy crafting is in the system of the game you're playing. And crafting basically means that you make stuff. Now, you know, that can be anything from clothes to weapons or pretty much whatever other items they have that assist you in the game. Usually you can craft something. Like in DC Universe, you collect these things called exobytes and plans, and you basically collect some other research parts, and you make things like colas, which are things that give you back your health, and you also use it to put in exobytes to actually up your gear abilities and that sort of thing. So it's like that in just about every game. Final Fantasy, you know, it's anything from like cloth and goldsmithing, I mean, weapon making, armor making, bone making, wood making. I mean, there's lots of things. I'm really good at the wood though, because I had lots of wind crystals. That sounds so wrong. Anyway, moving on. That's pretty much the basic stuff that you kind of need to know. And now I'm going to run very quickly through a few other things that I feel I need to tell you before I start getting into things of the job specific. So I'm trying to stay out of the job specific stuff and save that for the next one or another one. But things that you'll probably learn is you'll learn what tanks are, you'll learn what batteries are, you'll learn what damage dealers are, DPS, which is basically damage dealer, defenders, sub-tanks, and some other stuff. But, you know, that'll also lead you to things like aggro, kiting, buff, debuffing, and all these other things. But the thing that you need to know is aggro. That's a term you need to become very familiar with. Aggro is basically equivalent to a hate that a mob has that gauges on you. So you can get aggro by monsters that are like higher than you, are really aggressive monsters, where they see you and attack you, or they smell you and attack you, or they hear you and attack you. Anyway, based on how much they want to beat you down, that's basically what aggro more or less is. And you'll do things in party like share aggro and change aggro and that sort of thing, which we will talk about in greater detail later, because this stuff can get broke down to a science real fast even while it's still in the general state. Cool, right? Anyway, buffing is pretty much where you pretty much like use your powers and stuff and get bulk and such. You don't actually get bulk, but you get things like protection shields or magic protection with slightly better stats or slightly enhanced and such like that, which is good because, you know, that helps you beat monsters faster, hopefully. Debuff, that's basically magic that brings down buffs. So, you know, that stuff you just got all souped up with, that can be removed. Certain monsters literally will remove buffs from you. And depending on what you're playing, that may become an instant headache, because sometimes that means, like in the case of Final Fantasy, they will knock your clothes off. And if they knock your clothes off, they just knocked off whatever stats those clothes had. Not cool. So it reminds me of a goblin that seemed to have a thing about getting my pants. Creepy things. Very creepy things. And yeah, I was a Taru, so that's really not cool. It's basically somebody kept pulling the pants off of a teddy bear, so that's just not right. Anyway, next thing you need to know, your life is usually going to be shown to you in health points. Your magic or mana or whatever your specialized magic-like skills will usually be either mana points or magic points or MP. Your tactical or special points are usually going to be called either TP or SP. Usually you use those for finishers and special moves and chains and all sorts of other things that come up. Feed ability is like a 2-hour or a special ability that you can only do ever so often or once a day or once a game day. And pretty much I have these other two terms that are kind of deeper terms later. Super tanking is one. Basically, if you do a tank job and you're really good at it and you really figure out the ins and outs, you can do a thing called super tanking, where it's basically like you just go in and you just take full amounts of punishment while your team basically spends the time killing off whatever monsters are trying to eventually kill you. And cockroaching. This is one that I kind of made up, but in Final Fantasy XI, the Red Mage epitomizes this. Basically, the Red Mage is a buff tank that can still fight. So he's a magic user that can fight. So basically what he does a lot of times is he does all sorts of buffs and things, and moves like Convert, where he turns his MP into HP and vice versa. And basically he becomes a headache to kill, kind of like a cockroach. They just survive a lot longer than some of the other players can on their own, because they can heal themselves, but they can also output large amounts of damage. So it kind of makes them a force to be reckoned with. And pretty much that is the end of it. For those of you who don't know, what you heard in the background was my other videos just finishing up, because I edit my own videos. And in the background, it pretty much let me know that Ninja Warriors review is ready to go. You might have already seen it, because I intend to post it before I post this, but all sorts of interesting things happen, especially when I'm working. So pretty much this is just like the other ones. My Amway business stuff, which is pbkm, should be at the front. You can go by the Amway website and register to be a customer of mine. My IBO number and my key are up there. Those are two things you'll need to register. Registration is, of course, free. We usually have all sorts of like various goods and stuff, lots of partner stores. I go into it later, but basically I've kind of taken a different route from how the average ones do it. I like video games, and I was going to do reviews anyway, so why not have that tied in to pretty much how I'd make my business model work, considering I can't get out and recruit people because I work strange hours, and I'm on vampire hours right now, actually. So, you know, this is being recorded in the AM. And also, too, I do music and such on the side, which is on the SC Demented 13 page here on YouTube. So, you know, that's something to check out. I'm Pierre Kelly on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter as Hiredhenchman and SC Demented 13. It might be just Demented 13 on there. And I'm on Google Plus, but I'm not on Google Plus enough to really tell you to go there. And I haven't upgraded to the point I actually have logos up yet. You know, that's something I'll get around to eventually. But for the most part, this is it. I hope this has been helpful. I intend to do more of this. I intend to use as many examples as I can. I will definitely welcome feedback. And the reason why is there's always something you can learn about MMOs that you don't know. I do try out free MMOs. I try not to have more than two paid games that I'm active in. I'm no longer playing Final Fantasy XI because I was Saitaru there, and now I'm Crash Wreckless on Final Fantasy XIV. And I have like 4 characters currently on DC Universe. So on DC Universe, if you're playing on the PlayStation 3, I'm Hired. I am also a villain named Bytchpuddin, and I'm two other heroes. Battery Pack and Damien Diesel. Which, you know what, if you really want that, I will start leaving that information for you and whatnot, and make it kind of a thing that comes up in each one of these. And pretty much I hope to see you guys soon. And I hope you like the video. You know, click, comment, add, subscribe, tell people, buy stuff, jump up and down, have a party, you know, eat good foods, you know, whatever. Drink, be merry, don't drive, you know, have fun. And also too, I'll still keep reviewing the other games as usual, but this and possibly anime reviews will give me kind of a little bit of a slight shift in things, because, you know, it kind of was getting rough to kind of keep doing video games, because I don't always have the newest video games like I should, and I'm kind of waiting on 3 particular games this year, so I'm kind of particular about what I get, and I don't rent games like I used to, because I just don't have the time. But all that may be changing soon. I should have a review for Bulletstorm later. There's some things I like about it, and there's some things I don't like about it, and I'll get into that. I should have one for, now, you know, I don't know if I did it or not, but I'm going to probably also have one for Gears of War 3. I know it's been out for a while, and you probably already know about and played it. But sometimes when I get brand new games, I have so many to play, it takes a while to get through them, and that was kind of one of the ones I beat as soon as I got, and then kind of forgot about it. But, you know, Rage, I had a video out for it like the day I got it, so, you know, it's just like that sometimes. Anyway, laters, and I intend for there to be some type of question of the week. Definitely you'll have to read it, because I don't really bother stating it, because I usually don't know until I'm at the last stages of making the video. Occasionally I forget, you know, because I'm human. But that's what's up. See y'all later. Peace.